the podcast where we are talking smack and snacking on snacks. I am Dino the Giant Marvel, and with me is...
I'm Atlas Novak. It's 97 degrees Fahrenheit in the city I live in, and my AC is out right now because I have a weirdly shaped apartment. So we have an AC in our bedroom, right?
Yeah.
And I can't have that one and the one next to me on at the same time. And my fiance is taking a nap. So
Well, hey, this is the price you pay for love. That's so Joey's already in the house. Good afternoon, fellow Western Hemispherians. That seems like a stretch. That's because
what do you mean?
we're all weirdos.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it's just to start it off with that kind of a statement. You're like,
Mhm.
oh, we're all weirdos, right? Like North Americans, I think would be fair. We need to add someone from Latin America. I think that's a reasonable thing.
I was going to say that'll get them.
McTee's already in the house. And
Summertime. What's up, Zaru?
You know what? It's so in Greece up until like early 2000s, people didn't have AC. Like there was just like, it's hot.
Yeah.
Like that was it. You know, like get in the shade. Like where my house is, it would get up to like 46 degrees, and that was in the shade. But it had a nice breeze, like because it was mountains and a lake in the middle.
Yeah.
So the kind of air would come in and kind of it wasn't too bad. But now it gets up to like 52, and you're like, bro, 52. It doesn't matter if you have shade, you're gonna die. Like it's just, yeah.
52 Celsius is 125 Fahrenheit, which is like, dude.
Yeah. Like
I know for like my mom lives on the west side of LA, in Santa Monica, and I keep looking at the weather over there. So like up in the valley where I am, it's like 97, blah, 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 in the mid to high 30s in your case. She's in like the low 70s most of the time. And then I was talking to Root Beer, my co-host from my other podcast, Nexus at Night. He is in the San Francisco area, and his parents' house is like right on the water because I guess they bought it in the 70s for like a firm handshake or something.
Yeah. Well.
But it's right on the water. It's like 50 something degrees there.
It's like needs a little jacket or a spring coat.
Yeah, exactly. So about 12 Celsius.
Nick jumping in. What up, turds? You're like, that's nice. That's Atlas is glowing today. Also, I'm not sure if that was a compliment, but that's
because I'm pregnant or whatever, right? That's what happens when people glow. They're pregnant. In the valley, it's 87 degrees. In the valley, people get down on their knees. That's kind of accurate. SF is cold as fuck all the time. Yeah, it is. It's right on the bay. Everyone's like, oh my god, the ocean, because it's usually people will come visit from the East Coast and they go and swim, and they're like, this is fucking freezing. Why is it? It's the Pacific, you idiot.
Yeah,
the Pacific Ocean is cold.
Well, it's not just that. It depends on the depth of the water, right?
Yeah.
Like, so the deeper the water, and like I don't know how. So on the West Coast, I've never been on the West Coast, but how far is there sand, and then it just kind of goes off, right? I don't think it's very far. Like I think it's pretty like immediate.
Yeah.
Because on the if I remember in Miami, I went there once when I was a kid, and I was like, we walked out like 300 meters, and it was still like ankle deep water. I'm like, well, this is retarded. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. The Pacific Ocean is the largest anything in the world.
Yeah.
Well, because usually when you look at a map, it's on the edge, on like the left side, and then it's cut off and then comes in on the other side.
Technically, like if you look at the Pacific, you're like, yeah, that's kind of like half the planet, and the other half is where all this other stuff is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because, well, let's be honest, Australia's made up. It's not a real place, so that's fine. Can you see the picture behind Atlas movie where I'm high? The answer is yes.
Yes. Also, there's wind coming in, so it might like be swinging a little bit.
Oh, Atlas, you triggering bastard! That's not, okay. You want bitches to go to Hawaii or the Caribbean?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's fair. That's reasonable.
You go for like the breezes from the ocean, but you don't like go swimming in the Pacific. You surf maybe.
Listen,
my brother-in-law surfs, but
I found surfers to be weird. Like that's a unique characteristic, but also too, like the breeze off the water smells like butthole. Like that is not. People are like, "Oh, I love the ocean breeze." You're like, "I'm pretty sure that's nasty. You should get your sinuses checked."
I think by the time you get into like the city of Santa Monica, the smell is diluted enough. It's more just like the wind, like you're getting wind from the ocean.
Some people say the Pacific is where the moon split out of, and now we've gone crazy. Nice.
Well, because I think isn't it like a meteor hit Earth and then all the debris like kind of coalesced into the moon and then stayed in orbit or something?
There's stories that go both ways, right? And honestly, I'm trying to develop a joke about this and saying like, how come in general, customer service situations don't automatically blame a ghost? Just be like, oh, sorry, we have a ghost. Like, oh, your meal was late. Sorry, ghost in the kitchen. And you're just like, what are they gonna say? You have a ghost? Yeah, I do. Can we see it? No, it's a ghost, stupid. Like, it's not.
Okay, now I want to do that. Like, if I ever work, food service ever again for retail, just
sorry,
just be like,
haunted by a ghost. It happened.
Yeah,
and just
you know what? It's like the thing from South Park where Randy, like during the whole like Grapes of Wrath internet parody episode, and they go to that camp, and then Randy wants to watch porn, but he can't because they only give him like 12 seconds of internet a day. So he sneaks in and then jacks off, and they come in, and he's just covered in spooge. And then he's like, "It was a spooky ghost. This is ectoplasm."
The Pacific Ocean is colder than Atlas's take on 1960s same-sex marriage. I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
That's confusing. And let's be honest, Joey, you're not the one to make thinker jokes. That's more my co-host. He makes stuff where you go, I think that's funny. So yeah, no, that's it. Like honestly, that's really what I like. If you're responsible to give people service in any sort of role, just be like, sorry, I had to deal with a ghost.
Yeah,
that's it. That's my response. Like anyone's going, oh, you're late. Sorry, ghost on the road. And they go, what? Yeah, it was a ghost. I'm not. I don't care. Yeah. I just.
Haven't you played Luigi's Mansion? I gotta do the thing so I can expose his heart and suck him up into the vacuum.
Okay, if we're really on the back of a giant tortoise, like they thought in ancient China, I want to see the tortoise. There were more than one culture that thought that, but also too, there was a flat earther who was arguing with somebody else, and somebody else was famous in the scientific community. And the way they convinced the flat earther was, honestly, if you think the world ended at a giant wall, don't you think it would have been capitalized on and turned into a tourist attraction? And they were like, that's a good point. Yeah, no.
That's what got him to. Oh my god!
Covered in splooge, surprise visitor combo. Hey, John.
Have I met John?
No.
I don't remember John.
John. He is a great writer, and now I think he is doing illustrations as well. But yeah, he has a Reddit that he follows me on other stuff too, and we interviewed him once on Eargasm to discuss one of his short stories. It's about I Inherited an Angel. It's a really cool story. John, if you're on, feel free to drop the link to your stuff because he's a moderator on my channel too.
Good day.
And what is Atlas will bring up events people barely remember for nostalgia. That's true. His titles will be like, how did the ducky shooting effectively?
I think that's
100% accurate.
I think the funniest part is that Joey's like extremely specific, like rips on me. He's going so far out of his way when there's like other things. Like, come on,
he's got a crush on you.
You're putting too much effort into.
You're trying too hard.
Yeah, he's trying too hard. Yeah, so something about like you said, talking smack and talking about snacks.
So last week or the week before, I was with Joey, and he asked me, he's like, "Hey, can you get baby food for the show?" And I was like, "Sure," because we do groceries on Thursday, me and my wife. And when we went to the Chinese grocery store where we normally buy our groceries, I was like, okay, so where do they have the baby food? She goes, we don't give babies baby food. And I'm like, really? She goes, no, we just give them rice or whatever we're making. That's it. And I was like, you guys are mean to babies. That's fair. So ultimately what happened was they, are you frozen? I think Atlas is frozen. Anyway, so I bought a bunch of snacks and that resulted in I spent way too much money on snacks.
Yeah.
And that resulted in, there you go. Hey, you're back.
Yeah.
Did you hear what I was saying or no?
Yeah. So you went and Victoria said they don't give them baby food. They just whatever you got, or rice.
Another reason why Asian people are monsters. They don't give babies baby food. They give babies just rice and mashed up whatever else they're eating. So which I'm like, that's probably healthier for babies. But instead, I bought a bunch of ridiculous snacks. So in an effort to that, because I ended a 96-hour fast yesterday. So I ate yesterday and I'm eating today. So in an effort to get rid of those snacks, as they are the bane of my existence and they are just like burning a hole into my retina on a constant basis, I said, hey, let's just try some weird snacks and have fun with it.
Okay.
I'm trying to bring up more attention to your lesser watch content.
I mean, it's mostly it's all just like little short form sketches and on the epileptic comic on YouTube, or
just very funny.
Or just Atlas Novak on TikTok. One I did recently was about like when people you put something up on Craigslist and then somebody hits you up and just ghost you randomly. Like before the transactions even started, they're like, "Is this still available?" They're like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Okay, see it." Like it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would you even bother at that point?
In all honesty, just so everybody knows, that is the story for John's writing stuff. It's it's a cool story. It's a really cool story.
If I remember, I'll put it in the description of the
please do,
of the video for.
See, this is the thing, is that I actually just came from watching Mission Impossible, everyone, and
how was it?
You know what? I really think that I know you living in California are like, Tom Cruise is the devil because he's a Scientologist, and let's just calm down.
This is
probably the coolest person alive. I'm just saying, it's probably the coolest person alive.
This is how we see Tom Cruise. He's an incredible actor. He does all his own stunts, but he works for a horrible organization. It's one of those things where you can have your cake and eat it too on that one, where you're like, this is really fucking awesome, but also Tom Cruise. Like,
see, and that's the thing is, like, there's people are saying now you have to be able to detach the
art from the artist,
from the art, right? Which I'm like, I don't know if that's really a thing. What I do realize is Tom Cruise is probably one of the coolest people alive. He also is a midget, which I'm like, I have issue with because so it was weird, like the interactions that he's having with regards to violence in Mission Impossible. You're like, very cool, but also he's also like 5'5". I would just smash him with my bare hands, like you know. So it's like they're trying to make it make sense, which I applaud, but at the same time, he did like do some wild ass stunts. I did watch it. Dino, I felt bad about my Mission Impossible joke on you. Oh, bro.
Wait, what happened? What happened earlier?
So Facebook hasn't been letting me post reels for some reason. Like, I think it's just I'm assuming Elon is doing this to Zucks because Zucks stole the stuff from Twitter, right? That only makes sense. That's how nerds fight, right?
Yeah. I don't know if I'm gonna make a Threads account for Generation Dan yet.
Don't do
it.
If you try and delete Threads, you automatically delete your Instagram as well, which I'm like, that's a scam. That's how they get you. That's a scam immediately.
That's what bothers me. So like I haven't done it yet. I don't really plan to at the moment, but we're still on Twitter for now until it explodes like the fucking end of Majora's Mask.
Well, so Joe, I've been posted every Sunday. Usually Victoria and I will go to the movies, and last week we went and saw Guardians of the Galaxy, and then followed up with what did we see? Something else. I forget.
Oppenheimer, Barbie.
No. That's next weekend.
No. Okay.
It was so the thing is, Guardians of the Galaxy was really emotional.
Yeah.
And so I always post that we're going to the movies and we have a good time. But I posted that we're going to see Mission Impossible, and Joey commented, he goes, this time last year, Mission Impossible was getting into a standard theater size seat. Boom, boom. And I was like, oh, that's fucking hilarious because it's true.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I go to a VIP theater specifically because it's got the big seats that recline and all that jazz. Because, you know, I'm a boozy bitch.
Yep.
But
and all that jazz. Yeah.
Yeah. So first on the list, guys, is wasabi peas. These are brutal. I enjoy them.
Wasabi peas will fuck you up. I always kind of assumed it would be because like actual wasabi is really spicy. I knew that going in, but the kind of thing where usually when you have it as a snack and it's like a flavoring on something, it's never quite as spicy as the thing itself. Wasabi peas, that is not the case.
I definitely took too many.
How are the drinks at handling spice? What's the level on that? Because like I know, like when you think of like Mexican food or whatever, that's spicy, but like Thai food is like fucking turn that up to 15. So like I know spice level can kind of vary based on the culture.
It is more Greek cuisine traditionally is not spicy.
Yeah.
But there is like direct lineage that loves spice. So like my mom's side is from the north, what have used to be in Macedonia.
Yeah.
And they don't handle spice at all.
Okay.
But they have like herbal remedies that could cure blindness, like crazy shit. And also like they could curse your soul. Weird stuff. But where my dad's from, which is central Greece, about okay, for anyone who's watching, you know the little island thing, which is Peloponneso, north of that by about an hour. So it's mainland, valley, livestock, produce. It's beautiful.
Okay, so
they love spice.
Okay, so I'm looking on just like Google Maps so North Macedonia. You said that's where your mom was from, mom's family.
I can give you the village is Antartico.
How do you spell that?
Phonetically.
Antartico.
Antartico.
Oh, so Antarctica, but with an O.
No.
Oh no, with a K.
There are no C's in real languages. Just so people know. It's
wow.
a K.
Your mom's village is literally shaped like a penis. Like, look at this.
Let me see. I can't. Oh, I gotta look. I gotta Google it. Oh, geez.
Hang on, I got you. It's coming at you in a sec here.
Nothing's more emotional than Cupcake. That's fair.
No. That you see, that's 2Ks. That's
did he really? I didn't know Bismarcky died. Oh.
Wait, Bismarcky died 2 years ago to get friend zoned by a hot chick. In honor of him today, I know tomorrow is the anniversary of Tsar Nicholas and his family getting assassinated. And the only reason I know this is I have a tweet scheduled where it's like the meme from Endgame, like, or, Georgie, I don't feel so good, and then it's Tsar Nicholas like turning into dust.
You're such a nerd sometimes. That's what Joey was talking about.
No, yeah. No, he wasn't wrong. It was just so wordy,
Okay, so everyone can see. I don't know if we can see this. Yeah, there you go.
Tell me that's not a dick.
Yeah, kind of. Like I don't know that's how the land actually works out, but yeah, sure, that's fine. It's
or it might have just been like part of it. It's just when you type Antarctica into Google Maps, that's just what shows up.
Wieners. So my dad is from just outside of a city called Agriño, which is fairly further south, as I said, and that area they have like that's my dad's village is where the best olive oil in the world comes from. Okay. And if anyone has a problem with that, it was actually a documentary in the 90s by 2020 that explained that olive oil is the best in that village and it is stolen by a company and essentially labeled as coming from all other places of the world. Why? Because capitalism is the devil. Now,
yes, it is.
That being said, those wasabi peas just really hurt my face. I'll be honest with you. It's just so much pain. But in that area, because they can grow peppers all year round and stuff like that, they tend to love spicy stuff. But it's not really in the cuisine. It's you have an option of, do you want peppers? And you can get peppers. Macedonia is the suburb in Cleveland. Yeah, but that's not really a thing. Come on. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I do know that there's a suburb in the Las Vegas area where a bunch of the streets are named after Pokemon, which is like really, really fucking awesome. And I kind of wish they did more of that because apparently the reason they did it was they're kind of running out of names for streets. And they're like, we can't do the same 12 names over and over. You got to like expand on that. And I really think they should do that more. Like, get it from
Yeah, but now it's gone crazy, right? Like people are going to call it Street McStreet Face, right? Which is insane.
No, not like that. I more mean like you get like a all right. Let's say you get it from I don't know the X-Files, so you have Mulder Street, Scully Lane, that kind of thing. Or just like you like pick a property and then take a bunch of names from that kind of thing.
I don't think that's a bad idea. I think we should also have historical sites and stuff like that. Diglet Drive.
Yeah.
I feel like if you were going to name the street after Pokemon, the houses have to follow suit and have some sort of decoration of like fashion. So they have to be like shaped. What's Diglett? Is Diglett the hump?
Yeah, Diglett's the little thing with the big like pink nose coming out of the ground. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm old. I don't know these things.
I know it's okay. The only ones I saw were Pikachu, Snorlax, and Jigglypuff. I didn't see any others.
Really reasonable.
We used to laugh at funny street names. Oh yeah, totally, definitely.
Not even the government required all roads to have a name. The best was End Results Road. Yeah. Hey, what's happening, buddy?
We're getting a lot more people.
Well, that's because watching. So these are lime flavored Lays. I'm trying them out.
Okay. Is it lime plus anything or just lime?
Just lime.
Okay.
Oh wow. Not in the front, but in the back, a distinct lime flavor.
So what you're saying is business in the front, party in the back?
A little bit.
You have a chip version of a mullet, good sir.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Mm-mm. Interesting. A little ASMR for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely think that Tom Cruise is probably the coolest person alive because, man, he does those stunts himself. And I saw a documentary on the stunt that he did this one where he drives a bike off of a ramp.
Yeah.
It's lime plus potato.
You put the lime in the potato and mix it. Yeah.
That's not. You guys are bad people. That's fine. That's yeah. So it's like I don't know. I have a hard time. Also, too, like so Haley Atwell was in this, and she's ridiculous, right? Like just absolutely. I definitely did. You see the What If cartoons? No, you don't have Disney Plus, right?
No.
You're the one person in California that hates Disney. Is that?
I mean, I grew up in Southern California. I went to a college that was kind of close to Disneyland. There were Disney adults everywhere. It kind of put me off on it for a little while. Now I'm getting like slowly back into it via Stockholm syndrome. But for the most part, I think it's yeah, I think because Katie has to watch so much Disney stuff at school with her kids that like we just don't do it all that much unless we're with her family doing something.
I have a hard time. Like Disney is very enjoyable, but at the same time, you're like, that's definitely a cult, right? Like it's
a little bit,
you know, and you're just like, why not a cult? You know,
why not a cult?
Yeah, why can't we just have fun with cool stuff, right?
Yeah.
Hilariously, so when we were in London, they had we went to I want to say Harrods, maybe it was a toy store, and they had the individual 100th anniversary figures that you can buy. Now,
yeah,
I went to Disney probably in the mid 80s with my and the one I was the one in Florida. And I think this was a downtime for Disney in general. They didn't know what they were doing. I think they became their heyday became after that.
It was, I think, with like the Disney Renaissance, where you had like Little Mermaid up through Tarzan, that 10-year period was,
where they really started to shine, right? So before that, we went. My dad hated it because he paid for everything, and there he has 5 children. And the worst part was me and my brother, who were under 10 years old, couldn't do half the shit. So that made us a pain in the ass, and also everything was ridiculously expensive, which drives my dad crazy. Because he's like, we are here for the beats. Why are we going inside? This is stupid, right? It makes sense. That being said, the one character that we saw was specifically the I think it's the Sheriff of Nottingham from Robin Hood when they're all
foxes or whatever,
foxes and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's the Sheriff of Nottingham. It was so they had the 100-year anniversary of Disney individual packets. It was a new group of characters. So I keep on telling people this as I have a magic touch. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Magic is tricky, but I am a sorcerer. So I work my magic, and I came up with the Sheriff of Nottingham.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it was kind of awesome, and so now he's here by my desk. But, anyways, yeah, it's very much a cult. That's why, like, even now, Victoria's like, "Let's go," and I'm like, cult. I'm not really.
Yeah, exactly. It just doesn't like my mom didn't really do that, or like we just weren't a Disney family, and so the magic of like it being in your early childhood just isn't there for me. And like they make good movies for the most part, but I just don't have the
Yeah, now they're just making a point of not paying
the cult
people,
of personality
like,
for it.
That's a dick move. That's a dick move to not pay people. I'm just saying. So, next snack is rich butter potato chips. I don't know.
So that just sounds like regular ass potato chips. That's not
epic Lego figure. It is, right? And it's like I'm Lego's weird. Like I build a lot of Lego. I really enjoy it.
Mm-hmm. But what happened to that exactly? You were doing like one a week, and then eventually.
So I am currently paused on the Havoc staff, which is Skeletor's staff, which I have. The rest of it is right beside me. I stopped here because I got into my accident, and then I kind of my entire life, took a Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and flipped upside down. It was a very exciting time. So, like I said, Barbie and Oppenheimer, we're gonna do a bang bang and watch them both in the same day.
Oh, Barbenheimer,
yeah.
whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
Interestingly enough,
you're ready for 5 hours of your day.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. Because we go to we go to the VIP where they bring you food and shit.
Yeah,
it's fucking great, right?
Which one are you gonna see first?
Victoria suggests Oppenheimer. However, word is that a lot of the advertisers for Barbie are saying that if you like Barbie, don't see the Barbie movie. If you do not like Barbie, you should probably watch the Barbie movie. Which I'm like,
interesting. Well, it is Greta Gerwig who is Greta Gerwig. So I would not be surprised if there's a lot of like tongue-in-cheek stuff.
It's enjoyable.
And Katie loves Barbie, for example. Ugh. Oh shit! There we go. Barbie wine glass. It's down there on the bottom. The word.
Is Barbie an alcoholic?
No, but we kind of sort of collect these like little drinking glasses. Like we have, we got one when we first got engaged, where it's like boyfriend and then it's crossed out and says husband, that kind of thing. Or for her birthday one time, I got her one where it was Kirby's face on the cup, stuff like that. It's just kind of a little collection. It's easy birthday present.
Ali and Kay, so Barbie, did you see it and you're saying it's the best movie, or you're just excited to see it? Because I do want some feedback, because I played with G.I. Joe because I have a wiener. Now that's not to criticize, bro. My sister has a full box of Barbies, and I feel like Ali and Kay, you have shaved or pulled out the hair of Barbies in the past. Is that? No, I just saw the trailer. Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if it was the same trailer that I saw, but it was like, yeah, if you don't like Barbie, you should watch this movie. If you do like Barbie, you should probably not watch the movie. Which I'm like, that's a weird advertisement. I'll be honest, these chips
I guess
are giving me like hardcore
diarrhea.
No, not why do you always assume that everyone is shitting their pants? That's not a fact.
Because we all do.
This gives me mad vibes of 1990s stale popcorn, old butter.
Oh yeah,
movie like that. So I'm like, I'm kind of like, they're not good, but they're awesome.
They're not good, but they that nostalgia. They hit the button. Like free up. I really ought to just. Part of me wants to, because our router is on the other side of the room, I kind of want to start recording where I just sit in the corner with an Ethernet cable plugged.
It's not a bad idea. Let me see this. I mean, Hot Blondes is Scooby Clothes, and yeah, well, that's fair. I can't wait for the Barbie movie. It's giving back the neo pink aesthetic, and I love it. That's fair. I can't. You know, I can't like. Katie said she's going to.
Oh, Katie said she's going to go see it with her best friend, both of her sisters-in-law, and like a few of her coworkers, and I think her mom, doing like a whole entourage to go see the Barbie movie. And she's like, "You can come with us if you want." I'm like, "I don't want to be a 17th wheel."
I wouldn't do that. Yeah, no, that's not gonna be a fun time.
Yeah.
Very 2000, early 2000s. Like, yeah, I agree with you, but I'm not really sure about what the idea is with regards to Barbie, right? Like,
no, and also I heard about it.
You're freezing up. If you want, you can turn off your video, Atlas, and just put up a picture of yourself. That's fine.
I can hear you fine when you're talking. Which,
okay.
Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn off the Wi-Fi on my phone, and hope that like frees up.
Sometimes it does. That's a large part. It is a large party, right? And also, too, that's a lot of chicks always. That's not going to be a fun time. Like a group of women like that. Number one, you're definitely going to be pressured into running in front of a car on a dare, and also, you might get touched. I'm just like, it's weird. It's that is a danger zone. What does Joey say? Thanks, covered in do some. Oh no! So we're planning on watching Oppenheimer first. I'm not sure what to expect about Oppenheimer. Right? Like Oppenheimer should be a difficult thing to watch, but also like
it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be like a dark movie.
Rightly so, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like at the same time, it's more. I don't know where, because it's going to be an emotionally charged. On the to be honest, Barbie is kind of annoying. Well, yeah, of course. Oh, let's be honest. Is we've all run into people who are perfect, and also they are infuriating because they're like, "Oh, everything's just fine," and you're like, "I hate you because you actually have a fine life, you bastard." Right? So
Oh yeah, that's always fun where they're just like, "Oh, you know, I had this horrible thing happen to me," and then the little light goes off in your head, and you're like, "Really? Did it go worse for you?" and then they're like, "No, I solved it completely fine." You're like, "Motherfucker, can't you just fail one time?"
Like it's you. Sometimes it's nice to watch people fall, and you're like, because it makes us better and it makes us human. But at the same time, you know,
making me feel glad that I'm not you. Yeah.
So hilariously, my wife was like, "Oh, you need weird snacks, right?" I said, "Yes, I do." She goes, "Oh, I'll go buy you some." I said, "Great." So hilariously, one of the snacks she came home with was Kit Kat caramel pudding flavor. I'm like, "That's not
what?
weird.
Yeah, that's awesome."
These are the ones that you can actually put in a toaster oven and toast them, and they become like super cool.
That's pretty dope.
I'm pretty sure she bought them with the intent of that. Then she didn't really care about anything. So she was like, "Oh, it's an excuse to buy them. Oh yeah, let's get that."
I love when like in I don't know if it's just in Japan or whatever, where they have all the Kit Kats of the different flavors. They have like green tea and cookies and cream and all that stuff. There's a Japanese market called Mitsuwa that has those, and I love them. They're delicious.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is the Chinese grocery store, they have everything. It's quite incredible. So this is caramel pudding Kit Kat.
Mm-hmm.
That is alarmingly like caramel pudding.
That is alarmingly caramel pudding.
It really is.
What did you expect it was going to be?
So let me know, guys, if you guys have this, because I have this. I reschedule my laptop 100 times for updating already. It's just reminded me, so I'm gonna go ahead and update. Catch you guys later. See you later, buddy. Have a great day,
John. Yeah. I'll try and put his post in the
it's there. If you guys
notes,
if you guys go to the comments on my channel, it's gonna be there. But at the same time, if you Google the Reddit for "I inherited an angel," it should come up.
Don't use the search function on Reddit because that thing is hot butt.
Hot butt.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's a question for everyone else who's watching. is I have a bad habit of going, ooh, caramel. And then I buy it, eat it, and go, I don't like caramel. Why did I get this? I don't know why.
Perfect time for Victoria to show up and ask, how's the Kit Kat?
It's alarmingly caramel, honey. Alarmingly
It's
caramel.
alarmingly caramel.
I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things like you get caught up in stuff like I know because remember, so when I was young, the only 3 flavors you could get was chocolate, caramel, or strawberry. Those are the 3 flavors that you had for fun times. Aside from that, you got nothing. Like your options were plain.
Oh, for like candy in general, or
I think it's mostly around the fact of McDonald's Sundays. That was the peak fun as a youth because you could buy like penny candy, but you're like, this is not going to be good. Like you knew. I remember buying Swedish berries at the convenience store for a penny each, and you're like, do you know how many? Like you would go with like $2, and I'll tell you what, like some of us, not going to be named, it was definitely me, was would buy like 50 Swedish berries and then just eat them all right then. And I'll tell you, that is not healthy. Not healthy. I mean, like, oh my God, you're definitely going to cause some pain to your internal organs. But at the same time, yeah, times have changed. It's one of those things. I don't know. One of those weird experiences. But yeah, what do you think? Let's like Victoria is leaning heavily towards Oppenheimer first, Barbie second. But I worry.
So they say that Barbie has more of an existential weight to it than you might think.
Yeah.
So if you go into that expecting it to be like a pick me up after Oppenheimer, you might leave in a worse mood than if you went in going, Oppenheimer's going to be a bummer. I know that going in.
But I don't think it is. I feel it's going to be just a self-realization of the crimes that mankind has committed against itself, right?
Yeah.
Because so Oppenheimer was famous for repeating the quote from I forget what it is, saying I am become death, the destroyer of worlds, which is from a religious book for some religion from Southeast Asia. I don't want to say which one because I don't know that I'm 100% correct, and that's just being rude. But
yeah, comment section, please. If you're watching,
Dino, when you come
YouTube.
to Cleveland, I will take you to $2. I don't know what that means, and it sounds pretty like a good time. So
I am become dead. I mean, like I've used that in my stand-up before, but it's for a different reason.
I've said it to people I was fighting. It makes people freak out.
Oh no, I just did it like tongue in cheek because the whole bit was somebody waking me up after a seizure, and it's like, who are you? And it's like, I am become death, destroyer of worlds.
That's classy.
So, shit like that. Yeah.
Next on the treat list is coconut Pocky because I had it.
Love Pocky. Pocky's delicious. But yeah, I guess it depends on how much weight you give to Barbie because Oppenheimer is going to be a bummer no matter what you do. So you know that going in. Barbie, we don't really know if it's something where maybe the messaging it's giving you doesn't really affect you all that much. Maybe the reviewers are trying to like stir up a little.
Also true.
Where they do that and then it turns out to be like a fun romp, and then you're like,
okay, Barbieheimer does sound exciting. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
It's one of those things where, in all honesty, I think that can you imagine Barbie realizing that she's not real? That sounds much worse than some guy realizing, oh my God, I've created a way for the entire world to kill itself. You're like, man, that's the thing. You know?
I think if you're having trouble deciding based on like the messaging and the content of the movie, maybe do it based on time because Barbie is the shorter movie. And when you go see a double feature, in the middle, you're like, okay, I got to get through this next one. Like even if the movie you saw was good, it's still been a couple hours and you're used to just going to see one movie.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the reason to go see Barbie second because it's the shorter movie.
Possibly. So I've recently experienced that. So this, hold on one second. Hey, Victoria, what did we see second? We saw Guardians, and then what was the second movie? I forget. What was it? She doesn't remember either. Comment it in the comments, please. But yeah, like that was because Guardians 3 is extremely difficult because like they talk about Rocket Story, and Rocket Story is
a huge bummer.
It's not just that, but it's traumatic, and you're like, yeah, and you're just going like it's a lot to take in. And oh yeah, we watched Indiana Jones afterward. That's it.
Okay.
And Indiana Jones, like, who doesn't like killing Nazis? Like, come on, bro. Like even people like people who are almost Nazis are like, oh yeah, fuck the Nazis. And you're like, see, like, come on.
Yeah.
Your allergies are kicking in. Okay. I've never had allergies. But at the same time, I've been very, very fat most of my life. So I suffered. But allergies seem like there's gotta be some way to stop that shit. Like, I don't know. Allergies seem like quite a bastard of a thing for your experience, right? Like you couldn't be a spy if you had allergies in general, right?
I do love the idea of somebody becoming a spy and just being like, all right, get it covertly. Right? And then like everyone's pointing a gun in your face or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Like a friend of mine. Did you ever play Metal Gear Solid, Atlas?
Just 2.
Okay. So did you remember the pring sound like when someone saw you?
Yeah. Yeah.
So a friend of mine had
exclamation point.
His text message sound was that sound. So it would happen in a meeting, and like 5 guys would go, "What in the hell was that?" Like all of us would be like, "Ah!" Like it was unnerving constantly.
Yeah.
Okay. I sneeze. I sneeze. Let me see how many numbers this is. 129 quadrillion 383 billion 929 million 382,938 times in the morning. I feel like that's going to clean you out. That's definitely to I love the original Metal Gear when I would use rocket launchers to kill Gardos. Well, listen, come on. That's, you know.
I just remember Metal Gear Solid 2. There's this boss where it's an old guy where you're in a jungle and he's like sniping you from different positions. But if you go into the boss fight and then leave the game on but never actually start it for a week and then come back, he will die. And you just like dies of old age. Like I never actually did that, but it was something I learned later. I was like, God damn, that would have been cool.
It would have been cool. Yeah. So I just tried which one of these? These are sour grape. I don't know. We got them from a Japanese. It's going.
Is it a Pez? What is that?
No, Shige. Yeah. They're like gummies, but they got the stuff on the outside and it's quite sour. But then I have a little treat for everybody. Remember that since more often than not, male plants are planted over female ones, there's not enough female trees to collect the pollen. Yeah. That's, you know what? That's a good point. Zaragoza was the whole problem is because female plants are the ones that produce fruit. So the whole idea was that it would be more of a nuisance to have them because they would, but like realistically, this is the problem is mankind's stupidity is the bane of its existence. The only reason why we have allergies and stuff is because of an abundance of pollen because we don't have the female trees. Yeah. Damn it, we're the worst.
Grape is the best flavor in every candy. I bet you can't change my mind. Blue raspberry Jolly Ranchers. Shut the fuck up.
I don't know. That's a tough one. Because honestly,
blue raspberry Otter Pops.
Blue raspberry, but blue raspberry isn't real, right?
Yeah, but this is flavor in candy, not actual flavor.
Okay, but let's try and be reasonable, Atlas. Jesus. I never knew that you could supposedly control the duck in Duck Hunt. Really?
That one doesn't sound real. That's like my uncle works in Nintendo level.
I don't know.
Lemon haze.
I am a fan of grape, but also too some things are too grape, right? Like grape soda, no, but orange soda, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's a tricky one.
Some orange soda. Yeah.
Grape is a fruit, also factual, and lemon haze weed gummies. Well, come on, that's not. You don't eat gummies for their flavor. You eat them for the explosion in your brain.
Your explosion in your sky or whatever.
Well, in your universe explodes a little bit, and that's always a fun time. So I'm now opening. What are these? Oh, I'm eating super lemons. These are gonna be tough.
Oh, those are fun. I've had those.
They're a great treat, and the best part is still one thing I love about Asian candy is they are all individually wrapped and or resealable, which you're like, that's just a great plan. Like
that is nice, I guess.
At the same time, it's like, thanks. Tits are the best candy flavor. I can't disagree with you, Joey. I really can't. I'm a fan.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, it's funny.
So, not so much that. It's just like the heat is really starting to get to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I don't want to like get off the show because then it just means I'm going to be hot in a room by myself. So that's worse, I think. But earlier today, I went suit shopping again. So once again on the hunt for. Would you eat juniper berries? I have before. They're sort of sour. They're not really good. I think if they tried to domesticate them more. Atlas needs to see the Italian roller coaster video. I'll watch it. If Joey lets me send him the thing that I sent you earlier today, the thing with the ducks.
Black currant is the best flavoring candy. Oh,
I don't think I've had enough things in black currant to make that decision.
Ali, my official answer is this: black currant is now the best. I don't have a choice. That's just how it works.
You don't have a choice.
Then, black currant juice is actually really good. There you go. See, and that's how my wife is very picky. I'll send Atlas. Yeah, by all means, the Italian roller coaster thing. Oh God.
Sorry. As long as you send him the thing with the ducks, because I think you like it.
Yeah. Anyone else have that where I'm like, I'll get a candy like a Jolly Rancher? I'm really bad for where people are like, oh yeah, this will last like half an hour, and then I'm like, and I just eat it. Like
yeah, exactly. Like you get about like 3 sucks in, and you're like, all right, fuck this, I'm eating it.
Well, listen, I'm not a monster. So these are salted egg flavor chips.
Ooh,
and resealable. God,
I'm imagining like a deviled egg type flavor or like a hard-boiled egg.
So salted egg is more of like a savory dessert, I guess, for Asians, and it'll be like a custard. What the hell?
Dino, you've had some big ass fingers. Yeah, he does.
I do have giant sausage fingers, man. I'm. This has 2 bags. Jesus. Okay. Now here. Okay. This is where. Okay. So number 1, there's a resealable bag. When I opened resealable bag, what did I find? But a flavor packet and also more chips. So I now have to do that. So that's fun. Super exciting. I'm just going to leave that and do that later. Jesus Christ. I see where you're popular now. I never put it together. Yeah, I have. Okay. Here's another thing. So the one thing that I enjoyed about Mission Impossible, and I was saying this to Victoria, was that Mission Impossible really, the first one wasn't that good. Like the first one was okay, but it became Mission Impossible afterward, and it was quite wonderful. But
isn't like Ghost Protocol the big good one? Or
Ghost Protocol Fallout was good. Like the last few have been spectacular. Interestingly enough, though, one of the key components, and I think everyone will agree with you, is this, and Atlas can attest, is that actors have ridiculously large heads. And when I mean ridiculous, they look like the alien from the Alien movie, like just a huge, giant head. Now, but one of the key components of Mission Impossible is those different face machines where they put on the rubber face. And you're like, can you imagine, even if it was thin, you're like, you would notice if someone's face was bigger, right? So it's like, if they're wearing a face, even if it's perfect, their head is going to look extra big. And also, like, it would pay to have a super small head to be a spy, because then you could just put it on a rubber face.
Yeah. Do you guys watch anime? Not so especially much. I've watched a couple. Like I've watched a good chunk of One Piece. I watched Naruto up through the Chunin exams. A good chunk of Pokemon.
Absolutely not.
And Yu-Gi-Oh! Watched a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh!
Gross.
That's about it.
I am a fan of certain ones. So like, what's the bald one? One Punch Man?
One Punch Man. Yeah.
Love it. Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, not the shitty one. Top tier.
That one's great. That one I've seen.
But that has this is the thing. I love real, proper character development. Like when you, and that's the thing is anime does take the time because they do like a 30-minute episode, you can develop a character story far better than most. Now, for me, I honestly attribute something like Avatar: The Last Airbender
but that's
as
not
anime.
technically anime. It's
Well,
like
people can technically kiss my ass, right? Like, so that's fair. But that's like for me. See, okay, Demon Slayer. I don't know
never
what
seen Demon Slayer.
Pokemon kind of makes me want to kill people. So, but at the same time, I'm like, I just need an in. I need something. Because remember, when I grew up, like the peak of entertainment was 1986 with the Transformers movie where Spike says, "Aw, shit," huge swear word back in the 80s. What are we going to do now? Which was alarming. And I'll tell you right now, is that was where
Cowboy Bebop. I've seen Cowboy Bebop and the movie.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell. Like I saw
never saw
anyone,
Ghost in the Shell.
Anyone who knows Ninja Scroll?
Nope.
Oh yeah, it's a dirty, dirty, dirty movie.
No, Cowboy Bebop. One of the creative writing classes that I took in college for my major, our professor made us watch Cowboy Bebop for like a thing about.
Do you watch Digimon? Digimon sucks. That's probably for the Blackcurrant comment. Sorry, go ahead.
Nothing. No, just he made us watch Cowboy Bebop, which I'm glad they did because it was really good.
Akira, also really good.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot that's really good. Dino seems like he would like Berserk. Berserk is what the guy who's I think I saw it recently. It was on Netflix, right? The thing is, I actually was like a real life person for so many years, so I missed like a chunk of the 80s, no, the 90s and 2000s. I missed a whole bunch of really cool stuff. So, Berserk, I think I have seen. What was the other one that I saw? There's a few right now that are on Netflix that I honestly I get kind of annoyed with Netflix because it's the devil, but also too it shares with some stuff with you that you like, right? I just recently rewatched A Ninja Assassin, which was awesome. If only there was a good anime adaptation. Well, that's also the thing, right? Like I also too love. Here's the topic. It's what is it? Shaw Brothers, kung fu movies. This is before Atlas time. But like if you watch, yeah.
My dad keeps trying to get me to watch Kung Fu, the show from the 70s.
Oh, bro, I watched that with my dad. Kung Fu: The Legend Continues was filmed in Toronto.
Really?
So like we actually drove by the dojo where it would show the outside of the dojo, and we were like, "Oh my god, man!" I was like, Kung Fu: The Legend Continues, Quentin Kane." It was great. It was a very bonding experience. So
I should give it a try with him. It's one of those things where like I never have the time to like sit down and do it with him. I think if he just went, here's where to watch it and see tell me what you think. But like he wants to do it where we're sitting in the same room together. Which I don't have time to like go over to his house for every episode or whatever.
Atlas, make the time. It's really important. American Ninja 2, where the dude killed all them guys with the screwdrivers, top notch. American Ninja 2. I feel like I've seen that, but I don't remember it. Also too, like the Old Boy, the original, not the remake, get fucked. The original, top tier, right? Like I appreciate the physical. It's like anime has to be ultra ridiculous or super awesome. Like Seven Deadly Sins was one that I watched with my wife. We binge watched the whole thing. That was very enjoyable too. And also too, like huge character development, which I love, right? Like just knowing who you're dealing with is so good. And honestly too, if I hear Leaves from the Vine, I will immediately start crying. Like just
who doesn't really?
Well, if you don't, you're an alien or some sort of robot monster. Like
or just haven't seen it yet, in which case you should.
No, you just hear it. You can feel the emotion from those. You don't have to know anything. You just hear that something and go, oh, right? Like it's not.
He finishes in honor of Mako.
Guy, which you're just going, Jesus Christ, you know? Also too, like I actually have the manga for Lone Wolf and Cub, which is like all-time favorite stories, and I also somewhere have like a 12 DVD set of its live action adaptation that's in Japanese, and it's that, like, if you really want a cool story, that one, damn, it's like feudal Japan type thing. Sailor Moon. We could talk a lot about anime and stuff. Sailor Moon is fun. Card Captor Sakura is nice and relaxing, and Pretty Cure has some great action. You got one. Tell me. I'm like, I want to know.
There's a Rick and Morty episode that's like more recent where did you watch Sailor Moon when it was like on TV and the
no
okay
okay, when I was young and Sailor Moon was on, if you got caught watching that, you had a conversation.
You get the shit beaten out of you. Yeah,
I know. People were like, that guy's a pervert. Like immediately, that guy's a pervert. Which you're like, can't say that you're wrong, but you know.
But there's a thing where they have to disguise themselves because they're like Rick and Jerry are disguising themselves going into this like facility, and he's like, "I of Thundara, give me suits beyond suits," and then he's in a suit, and then he goes, "Jerry assistant clothing, makeup," and then it's the whole Sailor Moon sequence, but it's him. Yeah. And then they're like, "What was that?" And it was like a reusable Sailor Moon sequence. If I ever have to do that again, we can reuse it and save tons of money. And at the end of the episode, Jerry's naked. So let's get you some clothes. And Rick's like, "Oh!" And then they do it again. Like, just
my heart goes out to you. See, this is the thing. I even was in a roast thing, and I was like, "Listen, everyone's like, am I Rick? Maybe I'm Morty, and my whole life is ahead of me." I'm like, "We're all Jerry." That's the problem.
Yeah, we're all Jerry.
Yeah. And it's like, come on, I'm leaving. That was always allowed. Have a great day. Like, oh, it's just so damn it. But yeah, no, it's I got like 3 Pokemon games on my Switch, and I spend my whole life getting. See, that was my thing. Was I'm like, I enjoy a good story and the premise of the collecting and developing them. Cool. However, that it was like you had to like spend hours collecting, and I'm like, I would definitely start murdering people. Like, that's
well, once they released Pokemon Showdown, where you can just plug in whatever stats and moves that you want for Pokemon, like that's I got all my rocks off from the competitive battling aspect, so I just did that. I don't really play the games outright anymore.
I also managed to watch very classic anime like Candy Candy and Heidi thanks to my mom. Latin America imported a lot of anime in the 80s, 90s because it was cheaper than making original animation. That gives off a top tier like Afghanistan animation vibe, but at the same time hilarious. So Afghanistan animation. You haven't seen that?
No.
It's off of Super Troopers. It's very funny. Come on. Yeah, no, see, that's my thing. Like, but you know what, Atlas, something that your dad may actually love is 5 Deadly Venoms. It is a great kung fu movie, and it's like peak Shaw Brothers. I think it was from the 70s, maybe 60s, but it's a very, very cool story. Do you have a Discord?
Do you have a Discord? I made one, but I never actually like did anything with it. I feel like at a certain point we can probably do a Discord.
Like, I have my Discord, but I don't do shit with it, right? Like, because I play Overwatch sometimes, and it was a buddy who was like, "You got to go on a Discord," and I'm like,
okay. Tell you what, we have 73 or something like that subscribers on YouTube. Get us to 100. I'll open the Discord.
Yeah, that seems fair.
Yeah.
Miyazaki, hold on.
Oh, I've seen like every Miyazaki movie, but that's like white guy rule number 12 or whatever it is. Like,
but have you seen like my wife and I, we watched the one about the Zero, which I'm like, it was a wild movie. And when you know the history about the Zero, which is an airplane that was designed in Japan, it was like top tier technology. My wife actually, in one of our Christmas cards, we do an anime version. So like this year was I was Fire Lord, and she was I want to say Katara, and our cat was a 6-legged flying bison.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
you have to show me. Come on, this is
no. I think I sent it to you.
You did?
It was my last Christmas card.
Oh,
yeah, and that one. So there we have another one where I, being the giant that I am, you know, because I used to be 500,000 pounds, was I was Totoro, and she was like a little girl with an umbrella.
Oh my god, yes.
So interestingly enough, hold on, give me a second because this will take a second.
Yeah. Hayao Miyazaki actually worked on Heidi. Got to start somewhere. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. Yeah, I don't know. So like I've when you play a trading card game, you're around enough weebs where you just kind of pick up bits and pieces of anime knowledge from people. You know, stuff on the backpack you ask them about or whatever.
So for my birthday, I think it was, she had this sculpted, and it's like me as a giant Totoro, kind of.
Yeah.
With the little.
Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. So that was a thing, and I was like, "Oh, now I keep it as a reminder of how fat I was." I'm like, "Look at me! I'm a circle. It's great. It's very."
Because I've seen the picture of you with the Totoro ears.
Exactly.
But yeah. So yeah, I guess I'll just do that. If you get us to 100 subs on YouTube, I'll open the Discord and we can all hang out in there. Revolutionary Girl Utena. I don't think I've seen that. Bro, that statue of Dino looks gross.
Oh, for sure. She made okay. So hilariously, I want to say it's King Edward VIII, I think, is a picture of me that she had an artist actually put my face over his, and I have it, and it's like one of like old school fancy paintings, and it's got my face on it. And now a friend of mine, so when my wife, she had to find somebody who was willing to do it. They did it, and now they included it in their options, so they have the face you can put anyone can put their face on it. So a close friend of ours, he just changed that on his profile. He's like, "Oh yeah, my wife got me a painting with that." I'm like, "Bro," and then I showed him mine. He's like, "Jesus Christ!" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's definitely haunted." So,
do you mean King Henry VIII? Is it the one where he's like?
Yeah, he's like standing like this, and I even have a cat beside me. It's quite. I don't think it looks like me, but now that I'm thinner, I'm like, oh, it does look like me. I'm not. I'm scary, but that's So
what you gonna do?
It's definitely cursed. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, I don't have much time.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway. So yeah, I guess that's the call to action. Like, subscribe, leave a comment,
share.
Get us to 100. I'll open the Discord for everybody.
FYI, the last flavor I'm trying is going to be cucumber flavor, which is super refreshing. I don't know why. It's the weirdest looking thing I've ever experienced, but
I don't really like cucumber as a flavor in stuff. I'd rather just have cucumbers in something, but like, it's fine.
These are refreshing.
Yeah.
And delightful. Tastes like cucumber, yet also potato chips. This is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. If you've ever find cucumber Lays, buy them. It'll change your life.
Katie got me pickled chips, where it's literally made of, it's like sliced pickles and chipified. And no, like it's really good.
Yeah. So listen, I feel like the new era of chip is going to be an enjoyable one because the flavor, this stuff definitely gives you like a third nipple or something. Like, it's definitely going to cause some sort of harmful thing, but I'm here for it. So
yeah, that's the genetic marvel. He's got a third nipple. All right. So thanks everybody for watching, listening. At Generation Dan on Twitter, Instagram, while Twitter still breathes anyway. You can find me at Atlas Novak, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky now, or on my other podcast, Nexus at Night, but in all of those places except for Blue Sky. And my YouTube channel is The Epileptic Comic, short form sketches. Some of it's about having epilepsy. Go for it.
I'm Dino the Genetic Marvel. I'm trying to become a normal sized human being instead of the size of livestock. So it's an exciting thing, and your support is very much welcome. So please feel free to like, subscribe, and follow us on our journey of becoming some sort of superpower, possibly some sort of transformer that combines. Maybe we'll become a centaur of sorts, but it should be exciting. So in the meantime,
all right.
have a great
Thanks everybody for watching and listening. Bye everyone.